Hi there, welcome back. I'm currently working on issue 38 of the Millennium Falcon, and this is a pretty detailed one, and you can see I've got parts all over the place. But what I'm going to be working on today is this ramp. This is the entrance ramp that comes down, and in the directions in the magazine, I apologize about the handheld, but I wanted to get some close-ups here. Part of the directions here are to paint, and so I figured this was going to be floor just like anything else, so I'm doing my floor treatment. And so you can see I've masked the areas that I didn't want to have paint on them. And in this episode, I'm going to be putting on the paint treatment and then pulling off the masking, and we'll see how it looks. Maybe I didn't mask it very well. Any errors that I have, I can fix when I paint the exterior. So I'll just have to mask it the other way. But they had me mask this little thing right there. They said don't paint that. I'm not really sure why, but they said not to, so I didn't. I've got it masked as well. And here's what it looked like beforehand. Alrighty, so now we're ready to paint this the way that I've been painting the floor. I've already got it primed, and now we're going to put on the 3 shades of Rub and Buff. And I'm really curious to see how this is going to look. It might look awesome, and it might not. And I figure that's the exciting part about this channel, is to see if in fact I screw this thing up. Which is still a possibility. I got a lot of opportunity. So just like before, I'm going to start with the pewter, which I use almost kind of like a base coat. And this is a nice, I don't know, kind of a metallic, but not super shiny metallic. We're going to need a lot more than that. And then remember, I go over it with the black, and then also highlight it with the silver leaf. And it said not to paint up top up here, or at least in the book they didn't do it up there, but I figure that's just going to be attached to something, so I might as well paint it, and then we'll just see what happens. So because the Rub and Buff is different from most paint, it's a rub on wax. It goes on a little bit differently. It's thicker, and you kind of want to rub it off, hence the buff. And it gives it kind of a gleam, but it can get clumped up because it's a wax. So when you have stuff like this, you got to be careful about it. And again, this is super high traffic area. I don't care if it's not perfect, because it wouldn't be perfect. So that is kind of it's kind of your get out of jail free card, just to say, oh well, any perfection that you have was an intentional mess up. That's why I get to feel like a genius. It's like, yep, I meant to do it that way. No, you didn't. Okay. So this has this little flip down thing. So I'm doing underneath it too. Okay. So now I'm going to try to get most of it off. So I turn to kind of a clean side. And I'm going to rub or buff it. This is when you buff it off. And what that does is it just takes away some of the wax and it leaves some of the paint. And it gives it kind of a shiny gleam to it. Okay, now I'm going to mess all that up again with the black. And the black I'm not going to use very much of, like usual. I'm going to just a little bit. That's way too much. And so with the black, what I do is I kind of do little dabs here and there. And I try to be uneven about it. Now the reason I do the black in the second stage is because I always end up getting too much on. And so what this allows me to do is to come back over the black with the third color of the silver leaf. And then I can highlight some of the parts that I don't want to be just black. So that's what we're going to do now. And this we don't need very much of at all. And so the other thing is that you want to diffuse it. So if I put this on just like that, it's going to be way too much. So you kind of want to diffuse it. And so now I'm going to come over and see, I may have diffused it too much. So I'm going to try that again. Get a little bit more on in the first place, and then rub it off. There we go. And you can see I've got a hard line on this sponge, so I'm rotating the sponge so that that line doesn't show up in the same orientation every time. Okay, so now I'm going to clean it up again. There we go. I'm going to get this flat. There we go. I might hit it with a little more black again, just because I think I got too much of the silver leaf. The whole point of this is I kind of want different colors. I want depth to it. Okay, that's more better. So now we can unveil, we can peel off the masking and see how badly we screwed up. I say we like maybe I didn't have everything to do with this. I'm giving you some of the blame. Actually, that's a pretty good line. It's not bad. And to get this good hard line, I didn't show it because it took forever. But what I did was I laid down the tape and I put my fingernail down in the seam in the crease in the corner and got it down in there really good. And then I took the X-Acto blade and I did a straight line. We're gonna peel these pieces off. Well, that's not half bad. Yeah. Oh, I gotta do this piece too. I'm not really sure why they didn't want me to paint this. If for some reason I decide that I can come back and paint it, I want to come back and paint it, I will. But something's obviously gonna be attached right there, so we'll see. There we go. We got the ramp, and then this thing flops out. It's not half bad. Alright. I'm going to continue on, but that's just what I wanted to show today. Thanks for joining me.